This is my 9th video about casting shadows. This is my email address and my book on Amazon. Notice that the Kindle is only $5. These are open boxes seen face on, like an inset window. I started the light direction here, and it goes to the intersection of the horizontal and vertical shadows on the window. And when it gets to the bottom, since the window is deeper than the frame, it becomes displaced. If the light is 45 degrees, then this shadow and this shadow are the same degree of thickness. If it's less than 45 degrees, then the upper one is thinner than the lower one. And if it's more than 45 degrees, then the upper one is the thickest. And you can see with this window, the light starts on the light area of the frame and goes to the corner of the shadow right here. With this open box, we start with the light ray here that goes to the intersection of the horizontal and the vertical shadows. And then each one of them, when they reach the edge, they go to the corner. In this case, we see a change in the direction right here, meaning that light and shadow must intersect at that point. So let's use this vertical pole and send a light ray down to that intersection and a shadow line that way. And this would be the shadow direction if this surface is horizontal. Then the rest of the shadow is cast by this horizontal pole. So it goes horizontally here and then diagonally to number 4. To find this point more precisely, we need the right side view. So here's a front view with shade on top and shade on the side. Both of these are casting shadows onto the box or the window. Line up a right side view as if we're looking this way at the box. So line it up with the front view so that the tops match and the bottoms match. And this right side view happens to be a box inside the wall with beveled edges. So we start with number 1 here, the light ray that goes down to the point where we're trying to identify. Draw a similar light ray on the side view so that it hits this point, which is the bottom of the box that hits the wall. That's as far as the light can go. So transfer that position over to the front view, and you find the point we're trying to find. Then you don't need the side view anymore. You can go vertically down to the edge and then to the corner. And to check your work, you can make sure that number 4 here lands in the same position as number 4 on the side view. These are open boxes on the ground and against the wall. The one on the ground has a casting edge here that causes a shaded side to cast this shadow onto the inside of the box, and it begins where the light hits the edge. If you don't see where the light hits the edge like this box, then make the box transparent so you do. If the boxes are on the wall, there are 2 variables at play. One is the depth of the box and the other is our viewpoint. So for this box, it's much shallower than this one, so its shadow is narrower. These boxes are seen from a worm's eye view looking up, so we see their tops. This box is seen from a bird's eye view looking down, so we see its bottom. These are recessed desks, and in this first one, the light hits an edge. So the shadow just follows the casting surface here, and we don't need this vanishing point for the shadows. Similarly, if the light hits this edge, it follows the surface, and we don't need this vanishing point. However, if the light hits inside the box or on the ground, we need the shadow direction from the corner to the edge and then up to find this intersection. If there's a little ledge in the box, we need a new vanishing point. So draw the first shadow line and then make the second shadow line parallel to it until it reaches the vertical reference line. And then you can continue in the same way, going up until you reach the intersection, and then follow the casting surface. If the shadow line is horizontal, then the image is boxy and uninteresting. If the shadow line isn't horizontal, then you have this diagonal line, this one, and the one on the wall. And remember, any diagonal on the wall is cast by a horizontal pole perpendicular to that wall. You could also open the back of the desk, which I like because I find it more interesting and airier. This is front lighting, so the pseudo-sun is superimposed on the shadow of my head where my eyes are, and the shadow vanishing point is on the horizon. So the light comes down from behind our right shoulder. It hits this corner and then goes to number 3. But we don't know where number 3 is yet until we draw the shadow direction, which goes from the bottom corner up to the shadow vanishing point. And once it hits the edge at 2, it goes vertically up to 3, then horizontally over to this edge, and then to the corner. For any shadow, you first need to find the light direction. So it goes from this corner to this corner. And then you can finish the shadow as we have done previously. This can be considered an open box with pillars in front. To find the shadow direction. When it hits the edge, it goes up until it intersects the light, then it goes to the corner or horizontally over this way. Now, what happens if you just have this part of the shadow? You don't know really how high or low it should be. So extend the surface so you can find the shadow direction and its intersection with the light, and that will be the level of the shadow. That's it on open boxes, and in the next video, we're going to discuss the diagonal vanishing point, which is one of my favorite topics.